They call him the goal for that flying pose. They also call him the player who seemed to skate on one leg and still win. He is the youngest NHL player inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Praise for Bobby Orr keeps coming. A defenseman who rewrote his position. He stacked records, lifted Boston, and turned speed and edges into a language. His career ended at 30, yet his impact grew. To understand why, we need to go back to the past. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss hockey stories. The Hockey Hall of Fame asks retired players to wait 3 full years. Bobby Orr did not. At 31, months after leaving the ice, he was inducted because his body of work already matched a lifetime. Voters weighed dominance, rarity, and transformation. Dominance was undeniable. He won 8 straight Norris trophies as the league's best defenseman. He captured 3 Hart trophies as most valuable player. He secured 2 Conn Smythe trophies in championship runs and lifted 2 Stanley Cups with Boston. He remains the only defenseman to win the Art Ross scoring title, and he did it twice. Rarity presented itself in the numbers that bend belief. 102 assists in one season from the blue line, a plus-minus of plus 124 in that same era of heavy traffic and tight checking. End-to-end rushes that turned defense into a launching pad. Transformation sealed the case. Or rewrote what a defenseman could be, controlling tempo with edges, acceleration, and patience on the puck. Teams had to change how they forechecked, guarded the slot, and defended the line. Coaches built systems around the problem of Bobby Orr. The committee also faced the human fact: his knees ended the story at 30. Not for lack of will, but because the cost of speed had come due. The conclusion was clear. This was not a shortcut. It was recognition that the game itself had shifted under his skates. Robert Gordon Orr was born in 1948 in Parry Sound, Ontario, a town where winter ice was a second classroom. His father, Doug, had served in the Navy and played hockey, then taught his son balance, edges, and humility long before trophies arrived. The boy skated with older players and learned to read the sheet, not the crowd. At 14, he joined the Oshawa Generals in the Ontario Hockey Association and faced opponents 5 or 6 years older. He began as a forward, chasing chances, until coach Bucko McDonald moved him to defense to give his stride more ice. The switch unlocked a new map of the rink. Orr could carry the puck from goal line to goal line, delay pressure with small cuts on his outside edge, and turn defense into the first phase of attack. Early labels said too slight for the corners, too young for the league. He answered with footwork, timing, and a habit that would define him. He kept the puck until the play opened. A shoulder check, a glide, and then a pass into space that did not yet exist. Boston scouts began tracking him in the early 1960s and kept returning with the same note. He saw the game faster. He did not rush for speed alone. He changed tempo with purpose and forced everyone else to play on his time. Bobby Orr stepped into the National Hockey League in 1966 and changed the temperature of every shift. Boston gave him the puck and the green light from the back end. He read the ice like a map, pulling defenders to one side, then cutting across his outside edge to escape. He was a defenseman, yet he led rushes, entered with control, and created second waves that forwards could finish. His rookie season delivered proof, not promises. He won the Calder Trophy as the league's top newcomer. He logged minutes, ran the power play from the blue line, and retrieved pucks on the penalty kill. He did not force speed for its own sake. He changed tempo to open passing lanes, then hit the slot or the weak side with timing. Veteran partners settled the base, or supplied acceleration and poise. Fans saw a new grammar take shape. Breakouts became attacks. Neutral zone turns became possession, not clearance. The numbers grew, but the eye test arrived first. 9 games missed with a sore knee hinted at the cost that would follow later. For now, the story was forward. The league had not seen a rookie defenseman carry this control. By 1968, Bobby Orr moved from promise to control. From the back end, he treated the first pass as a trigger, not a relief. Breakouts became planned routes. He drew 2 forecheckers to one side, cut on his outside edge, and turned with the puck still on his blade. The entry into the offensive zone was no longer a dump. It was a carry with purpose, a delay, and a pass into the slot for a second wave. Boston's roster recalibration added fuel. Phil Esposito arrived as a finishing anchor, with Ken Hodge and Fred Stanfield supplying touch and support. The team's rhythm quickened because Orr set the metronome. On the power play, he walked the blue line, shifted shooting lanes by inches, and fired wrist shots through layers or slipped a hinge pass to a forward circling low. On the penalty kill, he retrieved, skated the puck out, and burned time with control instead of surrendering possession. Coaches began to adjust their systems around him. Wingers were told to shade high. Defensemen were warned not to chase below the dots. It rarely mattered. When pressure came early, he changed pace late. When pressure hesitated, he went. The award as best defenseman confirmed the shift in hierarchy, but the game film told the bigger truth. In 1969, everyone could see that defense had become the launch pad. Bobby Orr entered 1969 to 1970 with the fuse already lit. From defense, he drove the Boston engine, turning every retrieval into a breakout and every breakout into a threat. The numbers became a verdict. 33 goals, 87 assists, 120 points from the blue line. He won the Art Ross scoring title, the Hart as most valuable player, the Norris as best defenseman, and the Conn Smythe as playoff most valuable player. No one had gathered all 4 major awards in a single season until he did. The spring defined the picture that hangs in every memory. Game 4 against St. Louis. Overtime, Derek Sanderson slipped the puck, Orr cut across the slot, the shot beat Glenn Hall, and Noel Picard's tangle sent Orr airborne. Arms raised, skates floating, he became Veer the goal. The championship drought in Boston ended, and a standard for courage and timing settled into the sport. The following season stretched the ceiling higher. 1970 to 1971 delivered 102 assists, the first triple-digit playmaking season in National Hockey League history by any position. Orr finished with 139 points and a plus-minus of plus 124, a number that still reads like a mountain. He did it by entering with control, delaying at the blue line to shift coverage, and feeding the slot or the weak side with pace that surprised defenders who had already turned their hips. Teammates rode the pulse. Phil Esposito scored in torrents. Ken Hodge found soft ice. Fred Stanfield connected seams. Boston played on the front foot because Orr set the tempo on every change. In 1972, the Bruins returned to the summit. Orr managed the game like a conductor, closed defensive stands with clean exits, and attacked with that first 3 strides that separated him from traffic. The cup arrived again. The Conn Smythe arrived again. Through it all, the Norris remained his constant companion, the annual certificate that said the position had been rewritten. By the end of this window, the league understood the shift. A defenseman could be the best player in the world and the most dangerous carrier of the puck. The sport had been accelerated, and Bobby Orr held the clock for Boston. 1973 opened with the familiar sight of Bobby Orr driving play from the blue line and the less visible reality of a knee that needed careful management. He still tilted the ice. He still exited cleanly, re-entered with control, and turned neutral zone pressure into possession. The production stayed rare for a defenseman because the habit stayed sharp. He delayed at the line, pulled coverage, and fed the slot at full stride. Opponents adjusted by leaning on him early and often. Coaches matched top forwards against him, asked wingers to shade high, and directed defensemen to hold the dots. Orr answered by changing speeds, using short crossovers to escape the first stick, and resetting the attack with a backward glide that bought a second wave. The tape showed brilliance. The schedule asked for attacks. By 1974, the balance between brilliance and cost grew thin. Orr managed the defensive end with angles rather than collisions, and saved his knees by choosing routes over hits. The offense did not fade. He posted another surge from defense, piling assists, and driving possession across long nights, where his decision-making replaced muscle. Then came 1974 to 1975, a season that read like a peak even as the body argued otherwise. From the back end, he scored 46 goals and added 89 assists. The volume spoke to timing, patience, and a shot that arrived through narrow lanes. It also spoke to tolerance for pain and to the calculation required to play every second that mattered. The league saw a defenseman sustain a forward's load, or made it look inevitable, even as the knee reminded him that nothing lasts. Bobby Orr entered 1976 with a knee that narrowed every choice, yet the Canada Cup asked for one more summit. He accepted. Against the best skaters in the world, he controlled tempo with short bursts, delayed at the line, and found the middle when the play seemed closed. Canada lifted the trophy and Orr was named the most valuable player. The legend of a defenseman on one leg felt less like myth and more like evidence on the ice. After the tournament, the cost returned in daily increments. Chicago offered a structure that respected his past and protected his future, and he tried to answer the contract with shifts. The knee said otherwise. He managed only short stretches, played far fewer games than his standard, and spent more hours in treatment than in open ice. During that period, he declined to take pay when he felt he could not compete. It was a simple sentence about responsibility that many remembered longer than a goal. By 1978, the calculation became plain. The love for the game could not undo the damage, and the next rush would not bring back a joint. At 30, he chose to stop. The numbers closed at 657 games and 915 points, but the measure that mattered most lived elsewhere. He had shown that a defenseman could carry a team, a series, even a nation, and he had done it while the clock on his knee ran fast. Bobby Orr's legacy lives in the way the game is played today. Defensemen carry the puck with purpose, enter with control, and start the attack because he proved that defense can be the launch point. Coaches still borrow his timing cues, teaching young players to scan early, hold the blue line with patience, and release the puck only when the lane appears. Boston raised his number 4 to the rafters and set a standard that echoes in every home game. Outside the arena, the statue of the goal captures the instant when balance, courage, and read of space converged. In Parry Sound, the Bobby Orr Hall of Fame keeps his story close to the community that shaped him. His influence extends through mentorship and representation. Through Orr Hockey Group, he has advised and supported professionals across the National Hockey League, promoting accountability, preparation, and respect for the sport. Peers recall leadership by example. Modern blue liners who rush, delay, and feed and shut into the ice. Slot trace a line back to his tape. The sport became faster and more connected after him. His career ended early, but his ideas kept skating, carried forward by every breakout that begins with a confident first stride. His story is a study in acceleration and grace under limits. Bobby Orr changed what a defenseman could be, climbed to the summit in his 20s, and faced the end with dignity when his knee could not follow. The records explain the respect. The way he played explains the devotion. From the goal to the quiet decision to stop, he set a standard that still guides the game. Which legend should we explore next? Share the name you want to see. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out more great hockey stories right here on the channel. We appreciate your time with us today. Your support truly means a lot to us. Thank you for watching.